was already busy and an inquiry came in, I would just be honest and say, listen, I'm fully booked. I can't get to it till whenever. Whereas now I've kind of, when work comes in, I'm like, no, I need to take it because who knows how much longer I'll have work for. So I've been pretty rubbish at like saying no to work and to sticking to work hours as well. Like when Charlie goes to bed, I'm like, right, I need to do this and this. I think that's why I feel so burnt out. It's like I'm putting this pressure on myself to do everything and to be prepared for every possible scenario. And like, it's just, you can't do it. You can't work 60 hours a week in the middle of a pandemic. It's not good.
No. And yeah, you've got that extra stress of like having Charlie to look after. Like I can't even imagine having like a wee one at home while you're trying to, like you're having to work into the night. And I'm quite good at stopping work at like 5, 6, 7 at a push. I'm not like, and I feel bad about that because I know loads of people feel like they can't stop working, and I don't work nights unless I have to, and like I don't really work weekends.
That's
but,
good.
Yeah, I know, but I always feel guilty because it's always still in the back of your head, like business, and as somebody emailed me and as someone messaged me on Instagram, but yeah, you've just got to try and take the time when you can to relax.
This last week I've been better. Like I had a few busy weeks of shoots, and again I booked in more than I should because I was like, I've got this little nagging thing in the back of my mind, like work while you can. So I had a few busy weeks, which was actually good because then we went into this tier 4 lockdown and I couldn't work again. And so then I had like a few weeks of like all the editing from those shoots, plus like trying to stay on top of like my website and my social media and everything. And I had a few nights of like, you know, I took a few hours off when Charlie got home from nursery, had dinner, and then basically went back to work from like 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock until like 2 in the morning a few nights. And then I went like, this is mental. I'm literally, every spare minute I have is work. And this week I've been way better about having a more manageable to-do list, like trying to actually go, what can I reasonably get done? How many hours do I actually have? Instead of just going, in an ideal world, I would do these 50 things this week and then, you know, feeling guilty or stressed because I've not done it all.
Yeah, I was doing that as well. I'm quite guilty about it, but I'll put like everything I could possibly be doing or should do or like anything onto a big list, and I feel terrible when I have to like move it to the next day. But I still keep putting like absolutely everything that like it's not possible to do it in one day, but I still put it on the list.
I know, and I think like I've known I need to do this for a long time, and like any business podcast you listen to will say it. Like loads of people have said it on your podcast. I know because I've listened to it, and I've had a few people say it on mine and other ones I listen to as well. Everybody says like you need to start outsourcing things if you're going to keep growing. You cannot do everything yourself. When, you know, once you're at a certain level of business, like you have to get some help. And I'm at that point, but it's also scary right now because the times are so uncertain. So it's like, I know in my head, there are like these 5 or 6 things that I would like to outsource, but I'm also a bit scared to like all of a sudden have all these added expenses at a time where like the amount of work I have coming in is so all over the place and so uncertain. So I'm kind of doing it in baby steps. I've kind of prioritized like, these are the things that I need to outsource now. So I've got a few people helping me with those things. And then I've got my wish list for 2021, and I'll maybe wait a few months and see how things look in the spring to delve in. But see, even just handing off like a few tasks, I feel this massive weight off my shoulders. Like it's not all me anymore. Yeah.
And it is scary, like paying someone to do something that you can do, but like the time you save, like I know it's like an investment and like in the long run, like the time that it saves you'll be like invaluable, but it is hard to kind of make that jump and to give away the control as well, I feel like.
Yeah, you're right. It's not just the money side of it. It's also like you've been doing it yourself for so long. It's scary to be like, here you go, take the reins. But I think what I've realized is like, there's a lot of things that I'm not good at, and I'm very willing to admit that. Like I know the things that I'm good at and the things that I'm not. And then there's the things that I like to do and I think I'm okay at, but that I feel like if I do, I'm too close to it. Do you know what I mean? Like I've got a background in communications and a bit of marketing as well. So I feel like I should be able to do all that stuff myself, but actually I'm never going to be impartial because I'm way too close to it and it's my baby. So see, having someone to help with like marketing strategy or give me some honest like brand strategy, I think that actually helped me a lot, is just getting an outside perspective and realizing like just because I think something is great or is looking really good, my clients might not, my audience might not.
Yeah.
So it is valuable.
Yeah,
It's just a bit scary.
totally. So how do you kind of juggle the podcast as well? Like, I know it's hard work doing a podcast, but how do you kind of juggle that in with like life and work and all
I
that
think
stuff?
you do it much better than I do. Yours has got a great listenership, and you've built such a good community on social media. I feel
Oh,
like
thank you.
mine's still very much in this kind of beginning stages. I'm still figuring out what to do
Yeah.
with it. I'm trying to make sure that I'm not just like copying everybody else's good ideas and like trying to kind of find my own place with it. So I think
Mhm.
I'm getting there. If I'm being honest, I'm really struggling to fit everything in right now. So like I love this bit. I love actually like interviewing. Well, we're kind of interviewing each other right now, I guess. But you know, I
Yeah.
love this bit that's just the chat. But finding the time and the energy to market the podcast along with like other sides of my business and trying to stay on top of the
Yeah.
social media is killing me. So I've actually got
Yeah.
somebody like just started this week to help me with the wedding and family photography side of things with the social media there. And I've got somebody
Mhm.
else actually doing a bunch of website updates for me, because she kind of quoted me it would take her about 10 hours to do what I wanted done, and see if I did it, it would take like 100 hours and it still wouldn't be done right,
Yeah.
because I'm so bad with the technology side of it. So
Yeah.
I'm finding it's a lot to try and juggle everything myself. And I love this bit of the podcast, but the marketing stuff is just feeling overwhelming. So that'll be the next thing that will maybe be bugging
Yeah.
you to help me with.
Yeah, I honestly don't even know how you juggle 3 accounts. Like, honestly, and like consistently. Like, you're like consistent with all of them. And I like, as soon as I started this podcast, that my other account just got thrown away because it just takes so much. It's like constant.
I feel like something's always got to give. So I've tried to focus like the brand photography and brand strategy stuff is really like, that's the part of my business I want to grow. It's what I'm enjoying the most right now. It's kind of like where, not that I have like a 5-year plan, but if I'm kind of looking ahead to the future, I see that bit growing, but I'm not ready to give the other side of it up. And I do want to grow the podcast as well. So I think maybe that's the thing. Like, you've picked your podcast, that's your kind of top priority. I've
Mm-hmm.
picked my top priority, and then not that you need to completely let go of the other stuff, but it's like trying to make more time for the stuff you like the most, and then letting the other stuff kind of just even out, maybe is the right way to.
Yeah. Yeah. It is hard because obviously the podcast is like so much work, like you say, and it's like very little money comes from it. So it's like I'm at a point where this is what I want to do, but I'm like, I still need to pay the bills. And like, how do you kind of juggle the two when like the thing you want to do is just, it's so much fun, but yeah, it's definitely hard.
I think, you know, I know that you and I have talked about this before, and you talk about it a lot on the podcast as well, is like, it's like trial and error, learning by fire. You figure it out as you go. And like 5 years ago, when I started, like when I actually started to think this could be my business, before then it had been like totally part-time, there's no way that this is where I thought I would be. Like, I don't even remember what my kind of goals were back then. I could probably look back and figure it out, but I think it's like just this ever evolving thing. And as much as that's a bit scary if you're like a planner, I kind of like it. I like that I don't know what, you know, where the bulk of my work is going to come from next year or in 3 years or 5 years. It's kind of exciting that you're not resigned to just doing like the same job for the next 30 or 40 years of your life. I kind of like it.
Yeah, I do like I kind of decided to leave the brand and stuff and focus on the social media, and I like that I can do that. Like, I could just pivot so quickly, and if I come up with something else, I could just do that so quickly, because you've got like the time and the kind of time to dedicate to it. So yeah, that is the good part, but it's, I don't think I could go back to that 9 to 5 office job. I really don't. I think I would be like miserable doing that.
No, I can't see it either. I mean, there have been a few times this year where I've thought like, man, if I just had a 9 to 5 job and could be on furlough right now and like have nothing to worry about, just be enjoying my time off. But I mean, I have my moments where I think that, but I mean, it never even lasts a day, because I know I tried it for so many years in different jobs and it just wasn't for me. Like, that's not for me. And I think most people that start their own businesses say the same. Like, they tried it wasn't for them, they wanted to do something different. And what you said is so true. Like, you've kind of pivoted now from the branding stuff into the social media management. I bet you never thought your podcast would grow the way that it has. Like, sometimes you just try things and they work out, and you end up in a place that, like, I don't know, I'm not like a karma spiritual kind of person, but like sometimes I think that things just happen for a reason, and you kind of end up exactly where you're meant to be.
Totally. Yeah, because when you look back, like, you could think, oh, I'm not doing as well as I want to, or I want to do this, or like, you're always wanting to be better. But then when you look back, like when I started this, like I never thought I would grow to this and I'd have this community and I have like the people that I get on. Like, I would never have dreamed of that. And same with you, like you're just a few months in and already you've had like some amazing people and you've made those connections with business owners, and like you never know where you're going to be in a year's time. Could be something totally different.
I totally agree. And maybe that's like the perfect point to leave our chat at, is like, we never know what's going to happen. Especially right now, times are more uncertain than ever, but maybe that's the beauty of it. And I mean, this year we all learned how to adapt. We had to, like, in our personal life, in day-to-day life, in business. And I mean, those are skills that we've developed now. And like, no, I don't like the idea of, you know, thinking of adapting from scratch again if something happens and we end up back in a really bad situation again. But we've done it once, we can do it again. You know, we've made it through 2020 almost. We can make it through, you know, I think pretty much anything life throws at us now. We've got it.
Yeah, I really think this is, if you can make it through this, you can make it through anything, 100%.
Cool. Well, on that happy note, I guess we'll see what 2021 has in store.
We brought that around for quite depressing to quite positive at the end.
Yes, I know, you can't end it on a depressing note. Yeah, all kidding aside, I think it's been quite inspiring to see like the ways that people have like pivoted or adapted their business, and all the businesses that, you know, started doing things they never thought they would do, or like created new services that they never knew there was a need for. Like, there has been lots of sort of innovative, inspiring stuff going on. So I'm gonna keep that top of mind instead of the doom and gloom, I think, for 2021.
Yeah, you've got to focus on the good.